Okay. This one is yours, right?
Let's see. I disassemble a random person's Xbox 360. Okay.
Why?
We will see why, but I guess just from the beginning, right? If you are able to put it back together, there's no sin.
I would agree.
Let's read the continue of the story. If you put it back together, no sin. I was at a party with some fellow college buddies. Just on a whim, I decided to disassemble his 360 just to learn its parts and design. No one was watching me, and I had the room to myself for a few hours.
This isn't a party then! What do you mean?
Is that what you do at your party? Is that what you do at a party?
You sneak away, you hide in someone's private... Okay, so there was like a living room, I'm guessing, and then there were like a bunch of rooms off of that room. This guy snuck into... He says a random person, so it wasn't even like his friend. He snuck into like a random person at this party's room, found their Xbox 360, and decided to disassemble it.
However, I forgot how to piece it back together and left the party early.
This isn't a Texan, this is just a regular sin!
This is a crime!
You just did a crime! You just broke someone's...
Then out of frustration, I took my own PS3 apart. What? So you disassembled a 360, you had no idea how to put it back together, right? And out of frustration, you decided to go ahead and disassemble your own PS3. It took me a few days to piece back my PS3 together, but I never went back to fix the 360, and I heard they had to get a new one later on.
No!
It's a crime! This is vandalism, isn't it? It's literally vandalism.
You broke someone's console! You just broke it! Why would you do that?
I do have to say, the funniest thing is that they were at a party, and no one was watching me, and I had the room to myself for a few hours.
That's so freaking weird. Could you imagine if you threw a party, and then some random guest was just like in your room alone for hours?
Disassembling your Xbox.
Oh my god! Yeah, no. I'm not even qualified to deal with this. You're gonna have to talk to some actual angels, not tech angels.
I think this person, their penance is jail for this, probably.
Yeah,
their penance is jail.
At the very least, like a fine. Jesus.
At least pay them for the Xbox. How long ago was this? I mean, if they mentioned Xbox 360 and PS3, it was probably a long time ago, right?
Yeah, that's so sad.
What is the statute of limitations? What is the statute of, like, 15 years?
I don't know, man. Doesn't it vary state by state, country by country?
I have no idea. I think it's 15 years in America.
I don't know. Why do you know that and I don't? Wait, why do you know that in the first place?
I don't know. General
Giacomo,
knowledge.
welcome!
Shouldn't you know that? Wait,
no.
Can chat confirm?
I don't do a lot of crimes, so I've never had to think about this.
I also am not an American, so I would not have had to think about this, even if I were doing crimes, which I'm not doing any crimes. Imagine walking in on that.
No, dude.
On the Xbox 360, just you open, you want to go back to your room or something, you open the door, you just see a random dude sitting on the floor with your entire Xbox on the floor, all of the parts scattered, and then he just looks up at you.
Yeah, God, just like looks up at you from the floor, just the expression of like, oh, okay. Yeah, I do a little crime. Everybody does a little crime. Like I jaywalk, right? What other crimes have I done?
Oh, that's not a crime. That's not a crime, come on.
It is. It is technically a crime, so I've done a little bit of crime.
So, we don't have to think about technicalities. A crime is something that is morally wrong, not something that is illegal.
Really? You would only consider something a crime if it's morally wrong.
Yes, and, most illegal things are also morally wrong, so they have a big overlap. Except jaywalking. Jaywalking is not morally wrong.
I don't think that's the definition of crime, dude.
That's my definition of crime. People can have their own definitions, right?
No! If you're arrested for a crime, you can't just be like, actually, it wasn't a crime because I think it wasn't morally wrong, and everyone is entitled to their own definitions. You can't do that, dude.
What would you be arrested for?
What would I be arrested for?
Most crimes are morally wrong, right? So there's a 99.9% overlap there. Okay, jaywalking isn't wrong, Stealing cutlery from a restaurant.
What?
Is totally fine.
What?
I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. It was a joke. I know some people that do that. They just put cutlery in plates.
My grandma likes to take extra sugar packets and napkins whenever she goes to a restaurant.
That's fine.
It's pretty weird, though. I don't know if it's morally bad, but it is a weird choice.
That is morally bad. I mean, maybe not sugar packets and tissues because they're kind of cheap. But like, if you go at like a makeup store, and they have the free samples, or if you go at a dentist and they have like a free toothbrush with a small toothpaste, like taking all of those, that's more morally wrong.
Who does that?
Yeah, exactly. That's a crime. Even though it's technically free, that's a crime.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, you know what messes me up? Actually, I don't know if this makes sense for you because, like, I don't know how big a thing Halloween is. When people can't be home that night, they leave out a big bowl of candy and it says, everybody take one. Now,
Yeah.
if you don't take one, I don't fault you. I always take one. But if you take 2, 3, 4 even, whatever, man. I get it.
What do you mean whatever? What do you mean whatever?
If you dump the whole
whatever?
bag,
Kids.
the whole bowl into your bag, I don't forgive you. You're a bad person.
So I think even taking 2 is bad.
I would agree.
Kids should learn. Yeah, kids should learn integrity, right?
And like more than integrity, it's about the other kids after you, right?
To be fair, who cares about kids? Just don't leave a bowl at all. If you don't want it to get stolen, just don't leave a bowl.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't really think it matters to the people who leave it out, right? It's not really about them. They are anticipating all of this candy being gone at the end of the night anyway. They haven't lost anything. It's about the kids after you, you know? As a kid, you should care if the kid after you gets something, you know?
You should care, yeah. So we should only take 1.
Meanwhile, I personally just don't really care about embezzlement. I just don't really care. I don't know. When someone embezzles money, I'm like, great. I don't know. It was going to go to some rich guy anyway. Now it went to a different rich guy. Who cares?
Yeah, it's exactly. It's not our problem. It's not our problem.
Right? The news will report on like so-and-so embezzled, and it's like, good for him. I don't know, man. Who cares? He doesn't have a real job anyway. He was already making a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't care, man.
Very weird that you would bring up embezzlement out of nowhere here.
Well, I was just thinking about crimes that I don't care about.
So that was the connection.
Yeah, I was just like
anything to
thinking
do
in
with
my
the
head
candies.
about like what are the crimes I care about least, and like I definitely don't care. I've never cared about an embezzlement. I just don't
So
care.
does this mean embezzlement isn't a crime because it's not morally wrong?
Well, again, I don't accept that definition of crime, but I do think that it's not especially like I don't know if it's morally wrong or not. I just mostly don't care personally.
What about money laundering? Do you care about money laundering?
I mean, money laundering isn't like the bad part, right? Like the reason
Exactly,
you have to
exactly.
launder money is the bad part. So I don't particularly
Exactly.
care if you just want to launder money, if your whole thing is like, I have this money that I got legally and I'm going to launder it so it looks like I got it legally a different way and this makes zero like difference on my taxes, then I don't care, man. That's just a hobby at that point.
I would say that money laundering is not immoral. What is immoral is the purpose that you would have to do money laundering, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So money laundering, why is it even a crime?
Well, because it's easy to target. It's how you find people doing other crimes. If money laundering itself weren't a crime, then you wouldn't be able to investigate it. So if you found
That's a good
evidence,
point.
you wouldn't be able to figure out the underlying crime. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's money laundering and tax evasion. That's how they get you.
Yeah.